Namaskar and good evening, everybody. I welcome all of you to this Sunday webinar of Philosophy Family. Well, today's program is a bit different from the other Sunday webinars in a sense that we have three PhD scholars who are working for their doctoral degrees in different universities of the country. We have with us K.R. Roy. She will be speaking on practical Vedanta. She is from North Bengal University, West Bengal. And we have with us Miss, well, K.R. Roy, she is a bit known to Philosophy Family now because she is coordinating in the Saturday webinar on Isha Upanishad. So I don't think further introduction is needed for K.R. Roy. Well, Ms. Kasmira Murmu, she has presented a paper earlier in Philosophy Family. She will be speaking on Nishkama Karma. She's a PhD scholar and also she's a faculty in Ravenshaw University, a permanent faculty in Ravenshaw University. Recently, she got the job there. So I wish her all the best. And we have with us Ankita Sharma from Punjabi University, Patiala, PhD scholar. She will be speaking on women inequality and menstruation, the cultural, religious, and the social perspectives. Okay, well, a new dimension. Okay, well, let's discuss things. Well, areas that we should focus on. Well, good. So we have three. I welcome Ankita Sharma. Please, Ankita Sharma. Yes, Ankita. Ankita, please carry on.
Good evening to all of you. So, first of all, I would like to thank Philosophy Family for having me once again. And now, without taking much of your time, I will start with my topic of concern. So, I would like to talk on women inequality and menstruation with its, of course, cultural, religious, and social perspectives. So, women inequality. Okay, the term itself, why it is here, why we don't talk about men inequality, like why the issue of women inequality has been with us from since so long, since the humans have been here. So first of all, I would like to talk on the cultural perspective because this is not in just one society or in just one community or in one nation that we are facing this problem. It is present in almost all the societies across the world. So I would like to share with you some of the myths that are prevailing in different societies and different even countries around the world. First of all, in USA, it is believed that women in her menstruation would not touch any fresh fruit or vegetable as it will ruin the freshness. Second, in Italy, it is believed that a woman should not cook anything as it would not be good to eat. In Nepal, the woman in her menstruation is not allowed to stay in her own home. She has to leave to the other side, to some other place. In India, a woman in menstruation is not allowed to go to the religious places that we have seen the issue of Sabrimala also. And she has been asked to wash her hair and to wash herself entirely on the first day of her menstruation, and even she is not allowed in some houses and some rigid uh, orthodox houses, she is not allowed to enter into the kitchen during her menstruation. In Philippines, it is believed that the first menstruating woman on with her first blood, she will wash her face to have a clear skin. There are so many taboos, there are so many myths, I would say, that we witnessed around the world. It is not in just one society and it is not just in one community that we see these myths for women. menstruation. Now, the problem that I see is we all talk about women in, equality, women equality, women equality, okay? But why we need women equality and from where this inequality came? So I would equate this inequality with women being menstruating every month. So menstruation, which is very necessary for a woman to have a, to give birth. A woman, we will not say a woman is a woman or a complete woman if she is not menstruating every month. But this menstruation has been turned into a curse for a woman's life. We are working on papers for women's rights, for equality, for all the things, but the problem lies somewhere else. I see the problem lies somewhere else. So I had read some of the religious texts. Now I will talk about the religious perspective. And in almost all the religious books, the woman menstruation has been treated as something bad, as something not good. So let us discuss about these also. So in Manusmriti, it is written that the wise men are advised to condemn the woman in her menstruation because she is impure at that time, and he can only touch the woman after her being purified. And one more thing has been mentioned in Manusmriti that if for men purification, if a man gets impure by some chance, for men purification, the Manusmriti has mentioned some of the mantras. But for women purification, there are no mantras. So women's purification will be held without the mantras. So this is Manusmriti. In the Quran, it is also mentioned that in her menstruation, woman is impure, and the men are advised not to go to her during that time, and the men will touch the woman only when her menstruating period is over, and when she will get purified. Okay. In Bible, it is also said that the monthly menstrual flow of women is impure, and that 7 day period, in that 7 day period, the woman is a impure one, and whosoever will touch the woman during that period, he or she will remain impure till evening, and after the purification process, she will or he will be pure once again. Because you see, these three religions are the major religions across the world. Okay, so let's talk about Jainism also. In Jainism, particularly the Digambar sect, they had mentioned women himsic by nature. Okay, because they believe that during menstruation, the so many microorganisms get killed by a woman's body, and it is not a good thing they considered. So, however, in Buddhism, it is not talked like this, but various stupas has now banned the entry of women in her menstruation. So, various religion, which are the roots of any cultural or any social perspective. Okay, so without religion, no culture can flourish and no society can flourish. Okay, every society needs some religion, every culture needs some religion at its back, okay, to support it. So in these religions, the women have been portrayed as something impure during that cycle, and during that cycle on the top, the woman is treated as weaker and seducing also. So these are the things that I noticed from reading these texts. And one thing that is common to all these textbooks, all these religion books, and the woman as treated other is the male god figure. Yes, all the religions, you will also notice that they all had depicted male as the god figure, whether it's Brahma, okay, the creator, and we can talk about the Vishnu and Shiva also, the caretaker of the world and the destroyer of the world. So these three figures are the male figures. Okay, Allah is also male, and Christ and Buddha and Mahavir, all male figures. There is no religion that has been started by a female. So even the mythological stories, the rishis who are doing tapasya in in any of their field, they have been disturbed by the apsaras or the veshyas. So female has been depicted as weaker. That is a one thing. And she has been portrayed as a seducing one also. That is other thing. And that I find in these religious texts, that it has been here, it is present here, and from here the society runs, from here the culture runs. So we all are running by these religious texts. I would like to talk about one thing here, that Xenophanes, a philosopher from Greek mythology, he talked that as mortals suppose their god to be born. If Ethiopians would say their god is black, Africans' god is black, and if animal could draw the pictures, they would draw their god as like them. The horse can draw the horse would draw the picture of a god like a horse. The dog would draw like a picture of his god like a dog. So the males has written all the religious texts, and maybe this is the reason that they had created the male god figures around. So this is the religious perspective. We can talk more about it, but with the shortage of time, I would like to move on the social. The religious covers almost all the aspect, and social comes from the religious only. Okay, socially, look, in Manusmriti, it is written that a woman should be caretaken by her father in her childhood, by her brother at her younger age, by her husband, and then by her son at her older age. So a woman has been left into the hands of a male to protect her. But to protect from whom? To protect from other males only. So why it is not written that okay, just be protective for everyone and you both are as equal? There is nothing to get protected, and no one is superior and no one is inferior. So from it is where the problem lies. And who don't know the story of Adam and Eve in Bible? It is written that first the God created Adam, and he has created so many things for Adam. But Adam did not get satisfied. Adam did not become happy from that, all those things. So one day when the Adam was sleeping, God take one of his rib and he created female out of that rib. So female is created out of a male figure. In Quran it is also mentioned that God created man from a single soul, and from that single soul he has created female, and it is written that female his mate. So the woman is created in order to uh, in order to satisfy, in order to make a good partners with the male counterpart. So if we talk about the Purans, it is written here that Brahma had created female in order to produce other beings. So I think one name is there, Satrupa. She was the first female that Brahma has created, and she has given birth to other three sons, and then other and other, because she has been created in order to produce. That's it. That is where I find the problem. We can fight over so many things. We can fight over legal rights, over political rights, over so many things, for women equality, narrow mindedness, open mindedness. These are all the things that we see today. But to me, the problem that I find is in the textbooks, and from where the society and from where the cultural has been affecting. Even today we have moved on, like I'm talking about like thousands of years back when these religious textbooks have been written. Even today we all see that women are working. Okay, so women are working as equal to men, but the problem here is that even the working woman has been treated as the housewives also. The women daily regular work like cooking, like cleaning, like washing, this has been not even treated as a work. This has been treated as a part of woman's life, like okay, you are a woman and this is not your job, this is what you are supposed to do. That's it, this is not a work at all. So that should be not look like that. And the basic thing that I want to convey my messages and that I want to even discuss with you all is the inequality of women is being related to women being menstruating every month, and there is no other aspect that woman is being considered unequal. Okay, she can be physically not as equal to men, but she might have some other qualities that men don't have. So why the religious, I this is my complaint with those who has written our religious text, that why don't you write the equality, why don't you write that both are equal? Okay, we had created the goddesses, okay, but after so many years, after so many stories, after so many time that we thought the need of a goddess to control that demons. So why not, why the Lakshmi is being shown as seated in the feet of a Vishnu, and why not together? Why the Mata Parvati has to do a very rigid hatha yoga to obtain the partnership of Shiv, and why the Shiv don't have do that, why the Vishnu don't accept or don't treat Lakshmi as equal, as like Lakshmi treated Vishnu. So these are all the things that we need to look at, we need to focus on it. And I don't want to say that we just go and change the religious texts, but this is what I found, and we need to talk about it. We need, because the time has changed, because we have come forward. I have only listened that the early Vedic era was so good, the female is as equal to male. Then why not the female have come in front? Why not we have female philosophers? Why not we have female rishis so prominent as males? We need to find that answer. Why not? Because maybe we have keep her into the household activity only. And why she is being considered as a seducing agent? Just because she is being considered as seducing agent, she is not allowed to go to the religious places. Maybe that deity is not so strong. He might have afraid of being getting seduced. So there, I would want to discuss with you. It's my personal incident. We were at Tamil Nadu, and maybe I don't know what puja that was going on that day. They all were wearing black clothes, the black dhotis. I don't know, and I just stand in front, in just besides that person who was wearing the black dhoti and black, maybe for Sabrimala only. So he just screamed at me, okay, stay away. Okay, don't come in front of, don't touch me or don't come near to me. I am on fasting. At that time, I was in a college. I don't know what was that, but now I can know that he considered me as a seducing agent. That I can ruin his worship. I can ruin his. What kind of worship is this? What kind of worship is this? You need to get focused, and that's it. That is all you have to do. If you are focusing on, okay, that can distract me, that can distract me, as earlier we are talking about even so many things, so that we can relate. Like, we should not treat, because we there are two genders, and that both must be treated as equal, and that's it. That's enough for the world to get a better place. So I would like to, and I would love to have your views on that. So this is what I don't know what I should conclude on that. I must conclude that okay, we should treat equally, and now our homes and our sisters and other companions should be treated as equally as their other male counterparts. That's what I have to say. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Ankita Sharma. Well, you took all the pain to discuss a topic very well, very less discussed. Okay, it's a topic that needs discussion too. Okay. Well, before progressing into the analysis of this talk, let us first move to Ranjit Ghosa to initiate the discussion. Professor Ghosh. Sir, are you there? Ranjit Ghosh, sir. Well, I see. Yes, he's there.
Okay, I'm here. So, thank you, uh, Ankita Sharma. Okay, so she has given a very uh, common practice in our society, and this common practice is sanctified by the religious connotations. Okay, so but from the feminist point of view, the feminist will say that this is just a common physiological process in the cycle of a woman, and it should not be the women should not be taken as impure in any sense. So this is the feminist argument, and this is also getting a support from the biological point of view. But let us make many thought experiments on this situation. Suppose a woman who is alone, staying alone, and our social practices say that she is debarred from going to the fire to cook, and so other limitations which she has to practice. But if a single woman is there, and is it not the thing that she will cook her food and will take it accordingly? She will not bring from outside and take the food. So in this type of experiments we can bring in order to prove the futility of uh, the religious practices that is associated with this. Now you see this in the Vedas also we get this thing, and Manusmriti we get all this thing. So this is coming to us in the form of as a type of what should I say? It is the outcome of a patriarchal way of thinking that is prevalent in India. So also see, as she is talking about, I'm not sure, I have not seen the practice in the West, and whether Christianity or Islam, they are trying to use the same thing that we are practicing here in India. Now, definitely, this sort of banning women for a particular period of time in her life is definitely a question of uh, s- gender equality, and it questions the very equality of the women. Now, you see, in our country, we find the goddesses of India. All the goddesses are not coming under the purview of this, but only one temple in India, that is Kamakya temple, where we get Ambubachi in the month of June. And there, for 3 days, the temple door is closed for the devotees. But what about the other goddesses? Are they free from this practice? So, as philosopher, we should question all these situations in order to find out whether this practice should get its justification from the social or the religious point of view. I think she has tried it, but this should be more focused. This is what my observation on this. I'm not putting any question, because this is a situation definitely which is violating the gender equality of women. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your observations. Well, before making a further analysis, let's move to Kailad Das, sir. Sir.
Uh, Thank you, Prabhu. And she has tried to uh, say the problems of as such. This is a women liberation problem. Women are fighting for their rights against exploitation for thousands of years of exploitation and from days immemorial. And she's trying to point out, but she has focused particularly the issue of menstruating women are considered as impure. That is her focal point. But I will suggest her that you read a book written by Sarath Chandra, that is Narira Mulya. That how this book, he has given elaborate examples and very information of how thousands of years all over the world, different religions, different societies, they have not only tortured women, they have given a status to women even that was less than an animal. Their treatment of women, it is not in India only. It is elsewhere, everywhere in the world. He has given data of everywhere and so cruel practices against women. I will suggest Madam to go to that book of Sarath Chandra, that is Narir Mulya, where he has written. When you have quoted about most of the writers of law about society, like Manu, they are all male members. So it is obvious that they have neglected their female counterparts, and the society could not give. Even today, we are imitating Americans. Remember, how many years? Since how many years they have given the voting right to women? So, in Manusmriti, there is one phrase, Jatra Narjasya Pujyante Ramyante Tatra Devataha. We are very much happy about this statement of Manu that wherever women are worshipped, their God prevails there. But except this line, elsewhere Manu has also not said any good word about women. Manu has also said strict rules against women. Even somebody said in a poem like Tulsidas that Dhol, Nari, Sudra, ye sab tadne ka adhikari. If you beat them, they will be in the right path, right? So there are a lot many things. And I remember one thing in Tamil Nadu, long ago, there is a practice that a woman, a girl child has to be killed by giving poison. And the poison will be given in a special ritual in a temple. And this in the name of religious principles and laws imposed by society. The mother would have look at the plight of the mother, in spite of her unwillingness, having a lot of pain on her chest, she is killing her baby daughter. That is a practice. So history is full of such very inhuman and bad practices all over the world. And in religion has been playing a negative role. Religious strictures are played a very negative role. And because most of the authors of religious texts were men, perhaps I think this can be a reason for which they have not been able to understand. If Shastras say, Nari Narakasya Dwaram, he said that woman, you are the gate of you are the devil's gate, and you are impure not merely here, but also as such you are inferior to men. This is what the taboo deep-rooted in the society. Today also, a girl child is not most welcome in many places. And they say that if a girl child is born, today also people say, Ghar ko Lakshmi aa gayi, Ghare Lakshmi janma is. It's like this in Odia. But it's a Lakshmi. But actually, this is merely a solace that they want to give. So, today even this is a terrible problem that we are trying to cope, and we are not very much free from the deep-rooted religious, social stricture and a taboo that we are bearing. There are a lot of dogmas, there are a lot of myths prevailing today also. Even in urban areas, to my astonishment, I know a lot of places where this is happening. So your issue is that men and women should be treated equal. Today you see in Iran, they are just protesting against hijab. And how many are dead? The state is killing those people for this demand, just because on religious grounds, right? Religion says that we should have this thing. So many practices are there. So I don't think we have any doubt about what you are saying, or this is a debatable issue at all. But the whole debatable issue is that in what position a society has given, what status a society has given to their women. We have good examples also. We have a very good examples. In Vedic period, it is traceable that women were given very good status in the society. They had the liberty of arguing in a debate. They are participating in a debate. We have the story of Gargi, Lopamutra, and all these great Vedantin women. Those are participating clearly in those days, thousands and thousands years ago. But what happened in the Middle Ages, that the world has written to some extent that such a problem has started. But still that we can get out of all these problems, and I think society, though slowly, is marching towards. And your issue is not a debatable issue to my mind. It is, nobody is going to disagree with this, that there is anything that you said can be objected to. So I think you have made a good attempt, but you read one book by that 1,000 years of suffrage by women by an American author, I forget the name, Suffrage of Women for 1,000 Years. That is a book, and Sarat Chandra's book is very, very informative. He has given a great elaboration of social, religious, cultural victims and exploitations of women, how they were victimized. That he has very elaborately discussed in a book, and that book is available in most of the translations also. The book is though in Bengali, but it has been available in all other languages, I think. So that is a book I have read, and I find that it's a very informative book, well reasoned out book, and he's showing a real mirror to the society that how have you treated your women in past. Though you have said here and there scattered some good sentences about them. And in most of the religions, as you have quoted, men, women during menstruation are definitely called impure, and biology has terribly proved them to be wrong. And there are a lot more myths about women also. I think you can strengthen, and I think that the anti-feminist argument is not very sound in these methods. So thank you very much for a very initiating to an area of discussion. But this is a very well discussed thing, I think. This is a very lot of people are discussing. So many, even women liberation movement have started all over the world. And these are the points where I am not saying about to treat women as equality merely. I am saying that you have suffered, and at least the minimum thing that you have stop their suffering and exploitation even today. So I will thank you for doing more research on this. Hope you will do it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Kailash sir, for your observations and suggesting the
Just
books.
one
Yes, sir.
thing I want to add.
Yes,
that, it is written, your mensuration is, it is one T is missing. So you have to spell it in that way, menstruation. T must be emphasized so that it will be taken as a biological process in the life of a woman. T must be there, otherwise it will not be the appropriate one. Okay, and there are many other things. So from the feminist perspective, you study it, and mostly from the common sense perspective, if we say this is just a type of situation to suppress the women from one side, and that is what the Manu Samhita, Vedas, and all the religious scriptures they try to project. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ghosh. Well, I saw the typographical error in the slide prepared by Philosophy Family. Menstruation, the T is missing there. Okay, and rightly pointed so by Professor Ghosh. Yes, menstruation, ST T is missing there. Okay, even in the slide also. Okay, anyway, well, looking into all this, and let me take Sravani Mishra Madam from the chat box. Very nicely, she has said that menstruation is a part of the reproductive process. It is quite natural. It is a part of the biological process. Can anybody avoid it? It's a part and parcel of the creation itself. Can we do anything about it? We cannot touch. Can we prevent women from menstruating? No. Okay, it's a biological process, it's a natural process, so nothing we can do about it. The problem that Miss Ankita carries is the religious sanction that impurity of woman's body during the menstrual cycle, that the sanction that it gets from the religious text, that is painful for Ankita Sharma and for all. Now, the things are changing with time. As Dr. Ghosh has pointed out, that if a woman is staying alone, she has to cook her own food, or she has to get outside to get the food. So in the process, she's touching people. So there is no impurity is attached, number one. Number two, things are changing now. That earlier, the girls were confined to their own homes, but it is not so. Now the girls are in the path of education, they are in the workplaces, so they cannot observe this. Even in the family roles, now we have nuclear families. Okay, earlier we had a joint family where the elderly woman used to cook, but now we have nuclear families. She has to cook. So the very idea of impurity of women during the menstrual cycle is wrong idea. It's a myth. We should give away. Okay, that sort of assurance that we have to develop. The society has to develop. Okay, with changing time, we have got to change. Number one. Number two, when you talked of the Ayyappa Diksha, the people wearing black dresses, okay, it's a part of the Sabarimala Diksha of Lord Ayyappa. Actually, yes, when these people perform this Diksha, it is a Diksha for 41 days. When it's a Brahmacharya Diksha, it is called Brahmacharya Diksha. So what is this Brahmacharya Diksha? During these 41 days, they are not in a position to have or touch a woman, because during that period they have to observe a total brahmacharya, total control over the senses. Any say why they say to ask you, well, when you talked, you said they asked you to move a bit aside, because they should not any sort of, because they were always fearful, because they were in a diksha. Any mental issue may disturb their diksha. That's the only reason. Okay, so and another thing, the god that they are worshipping is Lord Ayyappa, and he's unmarried. Okay, and the female deity, if you go to Sabarimala, had been there, the female deity, okay, she is there besides the temple waiting for marriage to the Lord. And the Lord says, the day Kanya Swamis means the Swamis who go for the Diksha for the first time, they don't come to this temple, then I will be having marriage with you. So it's all, and that Lord is Brahmachari. So that's why people go on Diksha, Brahmacharya Diksha. That's why they avoid women for those days. Okay, that's a different issue. But still, with your issue, well, the religious sanction that you have, the social sanction that they have, but with time things are changing. Okay, and things are changing for the good. Now we have nuclear families, and this sort of not touching you, not touching the fire, and leaving some aside in the family, that's not there. That things have changed, and the changes are taking place for the good of all. Okay, thank you. Well, one more thing Sravani Mishra Madam has pointed out, that during that period, well, the women have to be respected, not to be given enough work. Okay, so that part we are not focusing on. We are focused. One more thing, you see, like the way excretion, the elimination of bodily waste is so important. The elimination of impurities, okay, metabolic process, and in the metabolic process, the elimination of the biological waste is important. And there are people who take that also as impure, and they take bath after the biological process. So many myths, okay, many things they go on. Okay, now again, this menstrual flow, it's a part of the biological process. It is again a part of purifying the body, not that the woman has turned impure during those 3 days, okay, 5 days, whatsoever. So it's all myths, and the society has to come up with a positive mindset, with all sort of respect for women, because it is a part of the natural process, it is a part of the reproductive process, and we have no control over this. It is the divine's, okay, creation. Who are we to attach some tag to this, saying this is impure or this is pure? The God has sought this. Well, whether he did not send a message that this is for this period they are impure or pure, it is we human beings have misinterpreted the system, the biological phenomenon of the feminine, and that is greatly disturbing. That we need to understand. The modern society has to understand. If you do this, then we are having a great time ahead and now. Thank you so much, Ankita, for this. Well, anybody, any question? Well, they are welcome. Or let's move to Professor Das, Pramod Kumar Das, for his observations.
In Sabarimala temple controversy, Supreme Court decided that how can a woman be taken as impure throughout the period of the observance of the rites, when it is a matter of only 4 to 5 days. So in that way, these days, women are also allowed to enter into the Sabarimala temple with some restrictions. That means the religious taboos are also changed with the changing situation. We have to accept it, that even in our lives, we have to change many things with the changing situations. If we become rigid to what is observed throughout the days of our ancestors, then society will not progress. This is the reason. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. One thing to add to this, well, devotees to Sabarimala, they are not restricting girls who have not attained puberty. If they have not attained puberty, they can go. Women who have undergone menopause, they can go. Okay, because it is a Diksha for 41 days, and the 30 days cycle falls for 3 days when there is a menstrual cycle, and the Lord doesn't want that, okay, during that Diksha. That's why women are not permitted. Otherwise, women can go after attaining menopause or before puberty to the Sabarimala temple. Thank you very much, sir.
That is what I had related, that woman inequality is there just when she is being menstruating. Even before that and after that, we know, maybe most of us are from Hindus families. When someone has died and we have to cook for the person who has done the Kriya Karam. Okay, so that woman that woman cooked the food who has attained a menopause, because I saw my dadis and nanis cook for someone who has done the kriya karam. So only those women who have been menstruating is considered impure, and we can say that inequality has been tagged to that woman only. This is what I had analyzed. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the suggestions.
You see, Dr. Rao has mentioned about that. These things cannot be observed in a nuclear family. Only in a larger family, these things can be observed. But for the nuclear family, this cannot be. That is the situation, the changing situation. We have to accept it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, over to Professor Das. Professor Pramod Kumar Das.
I shall congratulate Ankita Sharma. She has published this article in a very good journal, so it is already published. But I shall suggest her, you write another article after getting all these suggestions. You forget about the religious sanction, you forget about the social sanction, you forget about the political sanction also, you forget about gender inequality, you just focus from your perspective, being a woman. Just you forget everything. You forget all perspectives. Don't be philosophical. just you think from very innocently you take this issue and write another article. What the points I am telling you? Can an woman be really equal to a man biologically? Can we say that biologically men and women are equal? No. No. In many respects, no. And this is the topic is the best example. In that respect, men are not equal to women. Because women are going through this cycle, but human beings are not going through this cycle. So they cannot be equal. Number one. This is not the question of inferiority or superiority. This is the question of equality. Are they biologically equal? No. Number two, Sarbani Madam said very beautifully that this is a process for creation. For creation, otherwise the creation process will not be possible. This is a sign this is a very good sign. So at that time, they are not impure. Rather, we shall say, if unfortunately or accidentally any woman will not go through this cycle, rather she may be called impure. Don't take it as impure. It is the sign of purity only. Because you are going to be a mother. Because the possibility of being a mother is there. Otherwise you can't become a mother. So you are the progenitor of the creation. You are the creator. So this is one point. Therefore, Dharitri Mata is also is treated as a female. So we observe in Odisha we observe 3 days Raja Parva. We observe 3 days. It is a respect to Dharitri Mata that in these 3 days the farmers don't plow on the land, and others all many restrictions are there because that is a respect to Dharitri Mata. Okay, so that is a sign of respect only. Why it is a sign of respect? Because it is the sign of a creation. And I always surprised why women are shouting for equality. You are not equal to men. You are very much superior to men because you can create. You are the creator, and a female can create both male and female. A mother can give birth to a male child and a female child. So the female is the creator of both male and female, and that is only possible through this cycle. Number one. Second thing, in Upanishad, there is a very beautiful term that is Rita. Rita means cosmic order, which is called Dharma, which is called cosmic order. If any discipline is there, the highest discipline is the cosmic order, which is not sublatable, which is constant, which is called dharma. And fortunately, this cycle is also named accordingly because it is natural. It is in cosmic order that is called Rita, and this cycle is also called Rita in that sense that it is a very good sign of creation. You personally being an woman should have a very positive sense about that. What religion claims, what our people say. Now our president, you say that you are talking about the position of women. Now you see our president, who is now claiming that there should not be any jail. There should not be any jail there should not be more jails because we are talking about progress. A woman can speak like this before the audience. Who are the audience? All the judges of High Court and Supreme Court. So this is the power of woman. So you are not equal to men. You are much superior to human beings. Number two. Number three. When we are referring to any religion, suppose you had gone to Kerala. Suppose you are entering into anybody's space, anybody's time, anybody's religious system. You just respect that religion. You just respect. They have certain as our Hindu dharma has certain rites and rituals. Similarly, every religion, every community has some. They are free to follow their religious practices, rituals. So if we are the visitors, we should respect that. Otherwise, we are free not to go. If we are visiting their place, we should respect their system. That is the decency of a visitor. That if suppose I shall go to your house as a guest, I shall go through your disciplines. I shall not impose my thoughts, my habits on you. So this is about religion. And you spoke about Ramachandra, Vishnu, Shiva, and others. But you know, Ardhanarishwara, Lord Shiva is divided into two types, two parts. Half is male and half is female. That is the great concept of Hindu religion. Okay, we never neglect women, rather we respect them. So half is male, half is female. Otherwise, therefore Sankhya system said Purusha and Prakriti. You cannot separate one from the other. Okay, so inequality must be there because biologically men and women are different. Now come to your question of purity. Go and ask to a doctor what type of physical biological sense, in medical sense, we can say that naturally. Now forget that menstruation. We forget that. Suppose we have our excretion. We have our daily excretion. Do not we treat that impure? Can we go to cook after coming from the toilet without washing? No. So therefore that is a very beautiful term in Patanjali Yoga, that is Saucha. Saucha. Saucha means Saucha of body and mind. That your body should be purified, your mind should be purified. This is our concern. Forget about society, what society will say. So if our body is impure in that sense, as in the sense of excretion, any excretion, it can be treated as a sign of impurity. So we should have a saucha. If any bad thoughts, negative thoughts are coming to our mind, that should be saucha. That means that should be cleansed. So we should have a very clean thought, clean body. Then our karma, Kasbira Murmu was talking about niskama karma. Our karma that will influence our karma. That will give a very positive vibration to our karma. Okay, so don't take it negatively. Rather, I shall suggest you to write another paper giving importance to this specific quality of a woman for which generation is possible. Okay. So and the female childs are killed. This time has gone, and very beautifully Dr. Rao said that in a joint family, that lady was not allowed to cook. Only that is another aspect is there, that she, because of affection also, because we call the wife of brothers, they are there, the grandmother is there, they are there to take care of you, so they take it in that way. But in the nucleus family, now in everybody's in everywhere we see that it is very natural, because we have to be practical. Okay, so from the religious standpoint, we should respect the rites and the rituals of all religions. If there is some restrictions, then we should not take it as a problem. We should not have inferior complexity that we are neglected. Rather, we should have a superior sense that yes, in that point, I am superior to male counterpart. This quality I have. I am the progenitor. I am the creator. This should be our mindset. Okay, so don't take it otherwise. It is very natural. Medically you can say, sociologically you can say, philosophically you can interpret, religiously also you can interpret. So you can't avoid saucha. Saucha is very much necessary. Don't take it otherwise. Thank you, but I salute you that you have chosen such a topic, which generally young scholars, particularly female scholars, they don't they don't come forward to have such a discussion. That means it is proved that in philosophy everything can be discussed. Thank you, thank you, Ankita.
Thank you, sir.
I would suggest one thing to you, that you write a paper on menstruation, myth and reality. Then in reality part, you have to mention how you have to combat this
Yes, sir.
sort of
Yes, sir. Yes,
myth
sir.
that is being practiced in the society from the religious and sociological point of view. Okay, so all right, this is very nicely given your version. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. It is 9. We should end. Well, I should thank Professor Das for his observations, Dr. Ranjit Ghosh sir for his observations. But one thing that is nothing to feel that women are unequal because of this menstruation, because it's a natural process, it's a biological process. Okay, so just to end up one line, I don't know who has said this, a WhatsApp message a few days back, or say some 6 months or 5 months back, I received a WhatsApp message that women are fools to claim equality with men because they are something greater than men. Because if you give her a sperm, she will give a baby. If you give a sperm, she will give a baby. If you give a bit of love, she will produce a beautiful home. Okay. If you give groceries, she will prepare a meal for you. So you see how enlarging she is. Okay. So that's how women have a greater okay.
Dr. Rao, you
Sir.
just write female, and within it you will find male.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
FEMALE.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. One more thing, sir. If you write hero, delete her, you will find a big zero. Write hero, delete her, you will find a big zero. So that's how female are the environment. We are better placed than men. Okay, so that mindset you carry. Okay, so what Ranjit Ghosh sir has said, myth and reality, menstruation, myth and reality. That would be a beautiful paper. Thank you. So
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
well, we should end up here because we don't have Kailash Mahana sir. Well, did he join? No, he did not join today. Well, I should thank all the three speakers, Kashmira Murmu, Ankita Sharma, Kia Roy. Very beautifully, all these three scholars have presented their views on different topics. And most important part is the kind of responses they had to the questions raised by the participants. It is worth viewing because young scholars, because they have a lot of confidence, because they have gone through the subject and they are so much well versed and detailed. That's why there is no sense of nervousness in them. And I should also thank Professor Pramod Kumar Das for grooming these young scholars to do well and totally making them free from a sort of stage fear and all that. And so they're so free and so convinced with what they are saying. So that's how Philosophy Family takes pride that it is making young scholars to prosper, do well in academics, and a lot of credit goes to Professor Das for this. And he's the man behind all these activities. And I should thank Professor Das for this. And I should thank all the three scholars who were trained by Professor Das for having a very good presentation in Philosophy Family. And thank all of you, all the three scholars. I also thank very much Professor Rajit Ghosh because he's the man, and I wish the discussion should initiate with him, because he raises so fundamental questions, and the entire discussion they center around his questions. And that's how Professor Das is a great asset for philosophy family. His ideas, his thoughts, and are so so encouraging and so motivating to carry on the discussion further and further. I should thank him for his presence and making this webinar so good. I also thank Kalada sir, Jayanti Sahu madam for their presence and also for their observations. And also thank Manoranjan Sahu sir. Well, he's a man from Department of English, but he takes interest in philosophy, and I thank him for attending this throughout the program. He was there. I thank him for this. And also thank all the participants, and also Sravani Misra for a beautiful idea in the chat box, which was also discussed by Professor Ghosh and Ankita, and that's how I should thank you, and that's why I should thank Sravani Mishra, and also thank Pramod Das sir for his views and observations. So thanking all without losing anyone, I should thank one and all for a very beautiful evening discussed on beautiful topics, and I also learned a lot from the entire discussion. So thanking all. Let's move to Professor Pramod Kumar Das for the final close down of this webinar. So thank you everybody for this good webinar.
Yes, sir.
Over to
Yes, sir.
Professor.
Now, yes, sir. We are grateful to all the speakers and learned participants. So, with this, this meeting is declared closed. Thank you. Thank you all.